If we always believe, we always think that we cannot do it. We can't do it. We're not successful. We're not able to be successful. We're not able to make it. I can't change. I can't transform. I can't do more. I can't be better. If we always think like that, it will always be like that. Why? Everything that you are now is what you thought before. Everything that you are now is what you thought before. So if you say that you want to be in this position, that you're going to be in this situation, verbally you might have said differently, but inside you believe yourself to be in a certain position, that you will reach a certain position. Oh, I can't stop drinking alcohol, I can't stop going out, or I can't sleep, or I can't do this, sleep is different. I can't do this, I can't do that. I can't make it, who's going to listen to me? I'm a nobody. That's right. But you need to realize that every single person out there in this world who is a somebody started out as a nobody. But they didn't believe that they can remain a nobody. They believed they can be more. Because they believed they can be more, they worked towards it, no matter what people said, no matter what obstacles, and they became more. If you choose to believe you cannot be more, you will remain no more. If you choose to believe you don't have enough time, if you choose to believe you don't have enough energy, if you choose to believe that you can't juggle or you can't do, then you're wrong. You know why? Madonna, she runs every day for 3 hours, every single day. She's vegetarian. She will not eat any types of meat because it destroys her body. She goes for voice lessons. She trains her voice. She meets people. She talks to scouts. She talks to promotional people, to the record company. She goes to record. She goes on concerts. She goes shopping. She takes care of her kids. She's got to entertain her then husband. She's got to go to parties, do openings. And she's just a normal person. And she's got to maintain her relationship. And she told her relationship, you know what she said? She said, I love you, I care about you, you're great, but my career and what I'm doing is number one. Why? Because I don't know if you're going to be around with me forever. But I need to have something forever. I need to think about me. So relationship comes to her second. Why does it come second? Second doesn't mean she treats the person second or it's not a priority. It just means that when work calls, she's got to do work. So what she was saying, and I realized the formula for success in life, that her formula of success in life is not that she doesn't have relationships, she doesn't enjoy, she doesn't go to parties, she doesn't eat. It's that she knows how to calculate her hours and judge her timing to make everything work out in her life. That's what I realized. If we say we're busy, we can't juggle time, we don't have quality time, we're just fooling ourselves. Why? We haven't achieved anything. We have not achieved anything. We have done nothing. We have done nothing is because our priorities are saying we don't have enough time, we can't juggle, our priorities are off. Why? Why is our priorities off? Because all of us want to make it in something. All of us want to be successful. So if we always say that we don't have time, then you will always remain in a state of mind that you don't have time. There are people who are very close to me. And I'm going to say this with no disrespect. There are some people very close to me, physically close to me, and emotionally close to me that's been with me for 10, 15 years. What they're doing now is exactly what they were doing 10 years ago. And they're still with me. They still can only talk to a few people. They only can fulfill a few jobs. They can only fulfill a few commitments. And if you give them more commitments, they can't do it. They tell you they don't have time. They can't handle it because they have too much. And I notice there are people very close to me that 10 years ago when they joined me, they can do this much. Now they're doing this much. Same thing. Because they say they can't do it. Why am I saying that? To say that I'm so great and I'm doing so much and they're doing so little, they're not great? No, that's not my point. My point is, what I was doing with them 10 years ago is exactly what I'm doing now. Teaching, meeting people, scolding, arranging, whatever. But why is it I can take care of 12 departments now and it's growing, but some of these people still cannot even take care of themselves? Why? Why do they never grow or become bigger or expand? Because they have put in their mind, I cannot. They cannot. So as long as you keep saying that, as long as you keep restricting yourself, you will end up with many regrets later. Do you know why? Because you will look back over the years and see what everybody else has achieved and what you have achieved, and you compare and you feel, uh-oh, Let me give you an example. Things we were very passionate about 5 years ago, 10 years ago. Perhaps we're not passionate now. Things 5 years ago, things happened to us. And we would have committed suicide, or jumped off the bridge, or we would have, just close the doors, we would run away, shut off emotionally. But if it happened to us these days, we don't do that anymore. Why? And in fact, the way we acted last time, we feel a little embarrassed. We feel a little shy. Why? Because we think, what was the big deal? Similarly, whatever, if that has happened to you, and it's happened to me, if it's happened to you that what you've done 5 years ago, 10 years ago, that if it was taken away, or it changed, or wasn't the same situation, and you would have deep regrets, or you would be emotionally distraught, or you'd be very destroyed, or you'd be very flustered. But if it happened to you now, you wouldn't feel like that. Why? Because you moved on. So that's happened to you. Similarly, on the basis of that precedence, on the basis of that logic, if that's happened to you, things you are attached to now, things you are totally cannot be without now, things that you cannot be without a moment now, I promise you, 1 year, 2 year, 3 year, 4 year later, you can have it, it'll be fine, it'll complement your life. If you don't have it, it doesn't take away. Wasn't there people you met in the past you were totally in love with? You couldn't live a day without them. You think about them nonstop. You SMS. Oh, there wasn't SMS 10 years ago. You called them nonstop. When they called you on your handphone that was that big and your number flashes, you're so excited. You just couldn't be without them. And you think, wow. You even fly to Burma to meet them. Don't we all have that? Well, what happens to those people now and our feelings for them now? Our feelings for them now are gone. And if they showed up, we'd be emotionless. Maybe we can be friends, but we're emotionless. Why are we emotionless? Because that's how we felt then. That's how it is. That's how our mind plays tricks on us. So that's why never make sweeping statements. Think carefully based on past experiences. Maybe 10 years ago, if you didn't have a fabulous, wonderful car, you couldn't even drive to 7-Eleven because you lose space. But now it's like whatever. Things change. Now, we are in a thrive. Let me take KH as an example now, as another example, as an extension of what I was talking about. And I want you guys to listen to the deeper meaning, not just the words and examples. I am not cornering anybody. I am not framing anybody, and I'm not trying to use anybody as an example. If I wanted to do that, I just tell you directly. I don't need to go round and round and round. I'm not that type to go round. So I'm not here to frame anybody or corner anybody. That's not my purpose. But I'm here to give you information to think because you're smart, and it will help you in the future. It will help you deal with the future. It will help you deal with the past. Now, let's take KH as an example. KH is the largest, the biggest, the most active, and the most vivacious Tibetan origin Buddhist center in Malaysia. We've been told. So you know what? They told me I was tall, I believed it. They told me that I'm a Rinpoche, I believed it. People told me that I was evil, I didn't believe it. People told me that I'm loud, obnoxious, and straightforward, and I hurt people's feelings, and I'm direct. I believe it sometimes. I've been told a lot of things, and I can choose to believe or not. But they told me that we are the most active and the biggest Tibetan origin Dharma center in Malaysia. Well, I choose to believe that. Whatever they want to think, it's okay. I choose to believe that. I choose to believe that because we work hard. I have worked hard. We work hard. We work very hard. Anybody who's with us on the inside, it may look like a Rinpoche comes down the balustrade, comes down the grand-ish stairway, like Imelda Marcos or something, to a party with a new pair of shoes. But it's not like that. Because behind, it is a Dharma pig sweat factory. My point is, it is a sweatshop. We are in a huge, huge sweatshop. We are like all 60 of us in here are like, Vietnamese immigrants in America. We just came over on a boat and we're just stuck in this factory called Kichara House. And we're told to work, and we're pushed to work, and there's no sleep. You can ask the lady on the kitchen set. So what is this? What is this fervor? What is this excitement? What is this commitment? What is this that these people work? They have no relationship. They have no life. They don't go out. They don't recognize their friends anymore. They just disappear and they just do dharma work, dharma work, dharma work. But for some of us, that might be some kind of pressure. It could be some kind of pressure. But let me use that as an example. And this is not to put anyone down. Please let me remind you. That's how our mind plays tricks on us. Kichara organization is not a business-orientated, geared organization. We all know that. Anybody who works on the inside. We are really out to make a difference in society. And I know we can. And we work hard because we want to fulfill that dream. We want to make it a better world for animals. We want to make a better world for people in the corporate world who suffer and they don't have any release. We want to make it better for people who are divorced. We want to make it better for people who had no parents. We want to make it better for people who are unhappy, frustrated, they have no place to let it out. Maybe drawing would help them. We are a place to better the world. And the reason we're very devoted and we're very passionate and we work very hard toward this is because our goal to better the world is our top agenda. You see, if our agenda is not for others, then we would suffer in this environment. If our agenda is for me, we would suffer in this environment tremendously. Because you can be here, but eventually your mind is still out there. Your body can be here, but your mind can be out there. So when your mind's out there, you might end up joining out there, or you might not do your work here well. Why? Because you have not let go of the me. So people who work with us, am I telling you can't have fun, or go out, or have a relationship? Absolutely not. I have been a matchmaker in the past, secretly, and I've matched up people that worked out pretty well. Pretty well. They're still together now. You're not allowed to know. You see, so people who are in this environment and they feel uncomfortable, they feel pressure. Let me tell you where that comes from. The pressure that they feel doesn't come from KH. It doesn't come from the people around them that are devoted and work hard. It comes from themselves feeling guilty. It comes from the guilt within them that they want to blame on someone else. They want to blame on someone else not because they're bad people. They don't know how their mind works. No one's explained it to them. So when we come into a vivacious, growing, hardworking Dharma organization / Vietnamese sweatshop / if we are not working like other people, if we're not committed like other people, and we don't do as much as other people, we do feel pressure, we do feel guilty, we do feel uncomfortable, we do feel like we're being pushed. But you know what? No one's pushing you. Why? Because these same people who are working in KH felt what you felt when they were not working in KH. They felt pressure because they weren't ready to join the rat race. They're not happy being in the rat race. They're not happy just having a family, having a relationship, making money, and then they die. So when they were working outside of KH, in the secular world, they felt the same pressure people might have felt when they first entered KH. Why? Because their thinking is not the same. So every day you go to work, when people talk about money, they talk about success, they talk about bonus, they talk about going away, they talk about relationship, you're like, that's great, but you feel bored? You feel there's something missing? You feel there must be more to life? So those people felt a lot of pressure. So they looked for something else to do. That's why NGOs are very big. That's why Mother Teresa's holy organization grew so big, because so many people believed in what she believed in. That life isn't just about me. So therefore, if we work in KH, or any NGO such as KH, any in the world, and there are millions, really there, you just Google. If you're still thinking about yourself and only yourself and nothing but yourself, you will suffer. You will feel the hours are very late. You will feel that you don't have a life outside of KH. You will feel that you're pressured. You will feel that you don't know what you're doing. You will feel down. You will feel exhausted. You'll feel tired. And then you'll automatically start blaming cage and other people. And you start saying, people make me feel pressured. People make me go opposite of my real nature. And that's not true. That's not true. Why? Let me explain. You are attached to money. You are attached to sex. You are attached to fear of loneliness. You are attached to relationships. You are attached to food. You are attached to wealth and the fear of not having it. Your attachment is there. And anybody who comes near your attachment, you blame them as making you feel pressured and uncomfortable. But that's not the case. You see, what you're feeling uncomfortable with is not the NGO and the good things that they're doing, because how can doing good things make you uncomfortable if you're pressured? You're feeling uncomfortable because your innate selfishness is surfacing, and you're starting to see it, and you're feeling uncomfortable. So the pressure you feel, the uncomfortable feeling that you feel that's arising, is not that other people are making you feel uncomfortable. It is that you're starting to realize your priorities have changed. That perhaps your life has been more on the selfish side, and perhaps you should do more, and you're having a conflict in your own mind. Because if I go to Mother Teresa's place, which I have, and I've donated money, I visited her centers in India, I've donated money, and I wanted to join, but I already joined Gandhin, truthfully. Not to be a Christian, I wanted to be a Buddhist monk in Mother Teresa's organization, wearing what I'm wearing, helping. I was going to ask her permission, may I join you to help like this? I'm sure she would have said yes. My point is when I go to Mother Teresa's place, I don't feel pressure. In fact, you know what I feel? When I see the sisters and the brothers walking around, they're cleaning, they're taking care of the poor, the home for the dying, they're taking care of leprosy cases, they're running around on the streets, putting medicine on people. I felt pressure that I wasn't doing anything and I want to do it. That was the pressure I felt. But when I left Mother Teresa's place, and I went back to the secular world, Bombay and all that stuff, Hubli, where I was living, I felt pressure. Because I looked at everybody happy at having a wife, happy at having kids, happy at making money, happy at having their meal and going to sleep and doing that every day. They're happy. Oh, I felt so pressured. You know why I felt pressure? Because their life doesn't go anywhere. Sorry. It doesn't lead to anything. And they have regrets. And they don't even know how to address their regrets. Do you know why? Because they don't know what's going on. I felt pressure. If I was to disrobe and go back to America, probably within a year to 2 years, I would commit suicide. I would. Because to live a life for me, just for me, I look at my parents, I look at my aunts, I look at my uncles, I look at my friends, I look at my friends' grandparents, all that. Do you know what? I don't want to be where they are when I reach their age. No offense. They have a house, they have a car, they have some, they have grandkids. Oh, and they get together and they talk about the grandkids, they play mahjong. Oh, and life is so good. No, you know what? That's not for me. You know why that's not for me? Because I'm not someone that just flows with the river. I like to get up and look around and go upriver. So when I work in KH, when things are growing and expanding and things have results, I don't feel pressure. I can stay up the whole night. I can stay up days not sleeping. I'm tired. I'm exhausted. I'm dizzy. I'm sick, but I don't feel unhappy. But if you make me do that to work for a company or work for a boss or work for myself and just make money and be dizzy, stay up for days for money, I would be unhappy because I know that money wouldn't get me anywhere. Oh, you may think, but Rinpoche, you're a monk, you can't have relationships, you wouldn't understand. Please. I was young, slim, and cute once too. I was gorgeous once too. I didn't look like you guys and me like just suddenly. I wasn't born this way like all of us, I was cute and young once too. And I had plenty of opportunities for relationships and all that too. And I had plenty of offers, plenty. I had plenty of offers from women, from men, and from in between, plenty. And I think it's great. And if we need to have a relationship, fine. But you know what? I don't need a relationship to be happy. I don't need a relationship to assert who I am. I don't need a relationship to take away my fear of loneliness. I don't need it. You know why? Having a relationship makes me feel even more lonely. Because I've been abandoned my whole life by my parents, my step-parents. I have 2 sets of step-parents and real parents. I've been abandoned. And I've been living on my own alone most of my life. So I know what loneliness is, and I am afraid of it. I guess that's the right word. But you know, I know a relationship is not the solution, because I look at all the people with relationships, and they're suffering more than me. They have to call at a certain time, they have to go home at a certain time, they have to go to the dinners, they have to go to the functions, they have to look good, they have to deal with all the crap that comes with relationships. And a lot of relationships end up just bye-bye. How many relationships have you had that if you were to see that person again, you have no feeling again? That's what's going to happen. How many of you are in relationships now? No offense. You don't have any feeling, you're just in it. Yes, I know there are people who are raising their emotional hand. They did not raise their hand fully. I know. And you know what? There are people who are in the relationship that will end up that way. And then when you get a new one, you have all, running in the lily of the valley, singing the Sound of Music with Julie Andrews. You have all that crap. But it doesn't last. Why doesn't it last? Because that's not what makes your mind happy. That's not what makes your mind feel good. Relationships are okay. Making money is okay. And you can do it. You can do it. You can have relationships. You don't have to have boogie with your lover and then Rinpoche pops up and you're like, oh no, I'm not in the mood anymore. Because while you're, for those of you who are new, you don't know what boogie is, it's sex. So I don't like to say that word because, I am the Madonna of Tibetan Buddhism. I am. There are countries that ban Madonna, there are countries that would like to ban me, I know. But anyways, it's okay. If you're having bubbly, you don't have to have Rinpoche flash in the face and say, oh, you're satisfying yourself. Bad. And you're like, oh, I'm not in the mood anymore. Can you close your legs and go home? My point. You can have bubbly. You can have relationships. You can make some money. You can go, fly to Japan and look at the cherry blossoms. You can do all that once in a while. But what I want you to realize is that do it by knowing that that's not going to lead you to what you want. That's not going to get you what you want. Because if it's going to get you what you wanted, it would have gotten you what you wanted by now. That's not going to get you there. So does that mean we should divorce? Divorce the old bag? No. You stuck with the old bag, you've got kids, you've got responsibilities now, so you got to think about the kids. Thinking about kids is dharma. Thinking about the family is dharma. So I have a girlfriend now, I have a boyfriend now, should I dump them and do dharma work? No, you don't have to dump them. You enjoy the relationship, you can have them. But if they interfere in your dharma work, then it's not your dharma work that's bad, it's their fear that is the same as yours. But they might lose you to dharma work, therefore they'll be alone and they'll be unhappy. So they also have threats and fears and insecurities just like you. And I don't think we should let their insecurities win, and I don't think we should let our insecurities win. Because engaging in insecurities never ends. Because if it ended, it would have ended already for all of us. And all of us have been engaging in insecurities all the time. Making money, having money, losing it, making money, having it, losing it, making money, having it, losing it, having good food, eating it, and then having good food, eating it. What do we get? At the moment we felt good, the next few hours, but then it's over. Some of us can sit on a big pot of money and we feel unhappy. Some of us can be in a relationship, and you know what's horrible? Let me tell you, because I met a lot of people. Some of us are in a relationship and we like the person, and we care about the person, and we like to be with them. But there's a deeper inside voice saying, we can have this, but there's something else missing, there's something more. And we don't want to address that voice. Because we don't want to address that voice shouts louder, and that's where the guilt comes from. That's where the pressure comes from. That's where the uncomfortable feeling comes from. So the uncomfortable feeling does not come from Dharma. It does not come from NGOs. It doesn't come from helping others. It doesn't come from being beneficial to others. It comes from our voice who is speaking from inside deep wisdom, saying, no, I need to do more. And then our insecurities start speaking up. The insecurities, no, if I lose this person, if I lose my business, if I don't get a good meal, if I don't have this good car, then I won't be happy. You know what makes you unhappy? What makes you unhappy is not even the business or the relationship or your insecurity. Let me go one step deeper. What makes you unhappy is the wrong projection you have of these objects, thinking they will bring you happiness, and they don't. And when these objects don't bring you happiness, you become confused, angry, distraught. So what's my point? My point is, now you think deeper. When I tell people, now listen very carefully, and I need you to share this with other people. I'm not saying anything covert and wrong or sneaky. I'm not sending a sneaky message in any way. Listen carefully. When I tell all of you, let go of your children, let go of your husband, let go of your business, let go of your wife, let go of your reputation, let go of your face, let go. I do not mean let go of the actual object. I mean let go of your projection of what that object is supposed to give you, and it didn't, and you're stuck. And that's what makes you unhappy. We expect our parents to be a certain way. And when our parents are not a certain way, we become unhappy. Is it our parents who made us unhappy, or our expectation of them? Our expectation. Because if we let our parents be who they are, it won't make us unhappy. Because if we know they're this way or that way, why would we be unhappy? Why? So, does our husbands make us unhappy? No, our husbands do not make us unhappy. We make ourselves unhappy, projecting, assuming, hoping that our husbands will be a certain way. And when they're not a certain way, they changed. They became different. They're not what I wanted. I'm stuck. I need to go for counseling. I need to find a affair. I need to find another man. I need to do something else. You see, it wasn't them that changed. It was you who had the wrong expectation of a partner. Why? You look at a Hindi movie. The whole theme is find a girl, the boy you like, run around trees, get wet. And there's always a drama in the Hindi movies. Sri Devi's cast is Brahmin. And Arun's cast is just a blacksmith. The whole family from Sri Devi's side doesn't accept. So Sri Devi's sitting there heaving with her boobs going up and down. and Arun is like working, and he can't marry this girl because she's from Brahmin class, and then there's this drama. And then suddenly a light comes. Then the girl is about to marry another person of the same caste, and then the same caste turns out to be a crook. And then even though he's a crook, Arun came to rescue the girl, and the family regretted what they felt, and then they dance around trees, everybody's happy, they get married anyway. Isn't that the object of Hindi film? There's always a tree. Every 3.5-hour Hindi film has a tree. I went to 2 Hindi films. I went to Hubli for 1 Hindi film decades ago. And then I watched a Hindi film in Delhi, in someone's house, at my sponsor's house, twice. I have never been so bored in my life. The movies, the people are beautiful. Indians are beautiful. There's no doubt Indians are very beautiful people, and their acting is wonderful, and they're perfect. Everything's wonderful. 3.5 hours of pure entertainment, if that's what you believe is entertainment. I was so bored because everything they were fighting for in the Hindi movie, I don't know. Because I know it don't bring happiness. Do you know how I know? Because I had a mother too. What do you think? I was born from a tree? I saw how my mother and father acted. I saw how they feel. I saw my cousins. I saw my aunties. I saw how they grew up. I saw what they fought for. And it wasn't great. And I don't want to get into that. So my point is, when I put on my robes, I'm going to tell you what I felt. And I still feel that. I finally escaped. I escape from everything that can make me unhappy. My insecurities, I escape. Now, when you feel bad about your husband, when you feel bad about your wife, when you don't like them, when you feel sad, you feel despondent, you just go along with it, you know who's at fault? It's you. You know why it's you at fault? Because you had a projection, they should be this way, they should eat this way, they should dress this way, they should come home this way, they should act this way, they should talk this way, they should support you this way. You see, and when they don't do that, they don't love you. They don't understand you. They didn't support you. But you know what went wrong? It's not them, it's you. It's your projection of them. That's what makes people unhappy. So when you join the Dharma group, I've heard this thousands of times, and they walk in, when they join the Dharma Center, when they join Cage, they're floating. They're like Snow White with the butterflies dancing around their head, and they're singing away. They're like, and then they say, and then they meet one Dharma person in a temple that was in a bad mood, that had a PMS, that was, they met Bobo, and they go, Dharma like that. Dharma like that. Dharma people can talk like that. Dharma people can act like that. Dharma people can be like that. I said, you know what I tell them? Stick around, there's more. I do. Because they expect me to say, no lah, they were having a bad day, they're okay. They, nice Chinese, calm, everything. I tell them the truth, there's more. There's more. Because I've had these people talk to me. They come to say things to me. How come that person's like that? How come this is like that? How come it's like that? How come like this? They actually ask me when they come for private interviews. And I said, what do you mean? He said, but you're in Dharma. I said, yeah, but the Dharma's not in us yet. I said, that's your projection of how a Dharma center should be. So that means every time we go to a hospital, no one can die, and everybody has to be healed, or else the hospital has to close down. I don't think so. They never publicize how many people they saved in the hospital. They always sensationalize one or two mistakes in the hospital that people died, or things that were not detected. They should, but that's how human nature is. So they say, and sometimes when they come for our meetings, we're having behavioral issues, they say, you mean that person stole money? And they look, they say, but this is Dharma. You mean they tried to get money from you? They tried to steal money, they take money, they were manipulative with money, they tried to get money from you? Go, yeah, but they're in Dharma. Oh, how many years were they in Dharma? 10 years? 10 years? And they still try to get money out. They're still here for money. They're still here to try to mooch money and get money. Is it? Sit down. But they're in Dharma. Why like that? Oh, then all kinds of things come in their mind. What do they think now? They think, maybe I go back to what I was doing because it's not so good anyways. Maybe I don't get so involved. Maybe I don't, I better check it out and be careful first. Maybe I don't think I want to be a practice person. People say that. Hundreds of times. You know why? Because they expect everybody in the Dharma center to be perfect, free from faults, enlightened, on top of the world, even up. They expect them to be perfect because they didn't find perfection. So they have this outdated, unclear, unrealistic view of how a Dharma center should be. And when that Dharma center doesn't fulfill their expectation, they feel KH has disappointed them. I don't believe that. Because if you look at these people who are disappointed by age, I promise you, if you dig into their psyche and listen to their stories, they were disappointed by relationships, by parents, by friends, by work, and their life is a string of disappointments. And if you talk to them deeper, they'll cry and say their mother hurt them, their father hurt them, they weren't loved, they weren't taken care of, and they blame that. And then they choose to lose because of that. They choose to self-destruct because of that. They choose to self-sabotage using those reasons. And I want to go deeper. Oh, my father slapped me, my father didn't give me food, my father didn't love me, he ran around with women, my mother didn't care, she didn't have time, she had mind games. You know what? Get in line. Everybody's like that. What else is new? But let me go deeper. Psychology goes to that level and says, oh, now I know the core reason of your problem. And so the person's crying and crying and crying that their mother hated them, their father hated them, or their uncle hated them, they were touched, and they go on and on. After that, they feel a sense of relief because they talked about it and it came out and they blocked it from their memory. But the person doesn't become much better after that. They're still selfish, they still think about themselves, they're still, money grabbing. Why do they feel release or relief? Because it is a huge symptom taken away. Example, if you have tuberculosis, and one of the signs of tuberculosis in India, with the monks and the Tibetan people there, were non-stop coughing. You cough until blood comes out. You just cough and cough, you cough yourself to death. And there are some medicines that can stop the cough. And once the cough stops, it's a huge relief because this person can sleep, this person can eat, this person can talk, this person can have a semblance of a normal life when they're on 1 year medication. It's usually 1 year to 2 years. My point is, it's as if you're healed, but you're not. So when you go for psychological or you go for treatment, for counseling, it's something like that. That actually heals you to a certain level, but it doesn't go any deeper. You expected your mother and your father to be this way, or they should be that way, or society told you should be this way, that way. And when they didn't turn out that way, you reacted that way. Why did you react that way? Are you reacting to your mother and father? Psychologically, from a psychological view, yes. From a deeper Buddhist point of view, no. You are reacting from your pure 100% projection arising from selfishness. Take a minute to think about that. And you know what? Even people who are spoiled kids, and they come to Dharma and they don't want to do work, they feel upset, they need a lot of coaching, they need a lot of counseling, they can't follow the speed, they can't do their work well because they have an easy life at home, and that's their reason. For psychology, yes, that might be good enough, but if you go deeper in Buddhist psychology, no. You know why? It's not that they had an easy life and therefore when they're in a new situation they can't adapt. That's part of it. That's just a symptom. The actual reason is they're innately extremely selfish. And they don't want to work, and they don't want to make an effort, they don't want to take responsibility, and they don't want to think. So when they were at home and their mamas and daddies took care of everything for them, it was a very peaceful environment because it matched very well with their selfishness. So when they go to a new environment, when people are smiling and they're nice and they're polite and they're kind, they give them love and they're patient with them, they connect that with how their mothers were, patient and kind, to nurture them in their selfishness. So when they see a new person in a work situation that is nice, that is kind, that's patient, they say, oh, that's how my mother is. So they should act just like my mother. They should let me do what I did with my mother, which is nothing. And then they get upset. Maybe I shouldn't be here. Maybe I shouldn't do Dharma. Maybe I shouldn't be involved. I don't know why I'm here. And then they say, because I come from a spoiled, privileged family, and therefore it's difficult for me to deal with this. It's not the spoiled, privileged family that made you difficult to deal with, or made it difficult for you to deal with. What it came from was your innate, strong, very, very strong selfishness. You don't want to change. You don't want to take responsibility. You do not want to do more. You want other people to do it for you. So when you join Dharma, KH, or the workplace, or anything, you end up as a spinster, you end up alone, or you end up with not many friends. Let me tell you why. That is a symptom of how you are. Is that you want it all your way. So you're looking for another mother, you're looking for another father to accommodate you. And when they don't accommodate you, what are the symptoms? You start not doing your job, you start being upset, you want people to talk to you, you want them to find a solution, you're not comfortable, you don't know why you're here, you don't feel happy. Well, why are you a spinster? Why are you not having friends? Why are you not anywhere in life? Why don't you have anything? Why can't you even buy your own car? Why? That is all part of the evidence of what I'm saying. So therefore, it is not that you were coming from a privileged background. Privilege doesn't mean your parents has millions of dollars. Privilege just means you didn't have to do anything when you were growing up. That's privilege, because it's subjective. So when you didn't have to do anything when you were growing up, when you didn't have to do anything when you were being raised, and you just go to school, come back, eat, and throw your bags here and there, you throw your laundry here and there, and the maid and your parents and whoever took care of it, and you could just go in your room and lock the door and do nothing, and suddenly when you joined Dharma, suddenly when you go out to work, everybody said, no. You suffer. Why do you suffer? Because your mother gave you an easy life, your father gave you an easy life, that's why you're not having an easy life now, you're adjusting? No. No. It's because you had the bad karma to be born into a life where your parents didn't make you do things. So when you grew up, you became selfish, irresponsible, not wanting to work, not wanting to take responsibility, because with those qualities, you don't make friends, you don't advance in meditation, you don't become a better person, you don't do NGO work, you don't help anyone, and then you collect more negative karma. When you die, you go to a lower place. So when you are born in a privileged family, privilege means no responsibility. No responsibility. It is bad karma. Why is it bad karma? Because it trains you to become selfish more. It trains you to hone your selfish skills. And you know what? From your selfishness, you create even more unhappiness and more problems for yourself. And you end up in a worse place. And then your first reaction is, I don't want to work for Dharma, I want to run back home to Mama. Because everything is easy for me at home. No. Why? Because if you run home back to Mama, if you run back to your comfort zone, you are reinforcing your projection. You are reinforcing your wrong view of how your mother should be. Your mother should train you. Your mother should make you wash, clean. Your mother should make you do the laundry. Your mother should make you work and earn your salary. Your mother should not give you a free place to stay, an easy place to stay, a very easy life. Your mother and father should not give you that. Because when you grow up, you will be a terror. You will not know how to have relationships. You will suffer divorces. You will know how to not know the value of money. You will not be able to work on the outside, and you will always look for money or easy life or free food or a free place to stay for the rest of your life. And having an easy life as you grow older, in fact, you will keep divorcing. If you look at movie stars or people of big families, the divorce rate is very high. Why? Because they were never trained to deal with life. Never. So to be born in that type of family, you can go two ways. You see, if I had a mother who gave me $1 million, if I had a mother who gave me $1,000, if I had a mother who gave me $100, but you see, I didn't have to earn that money, I didn't have to do anything for it, they just gave it to me, and I had a free place to stay, you know what I would do? I would work my butt off. I would work my little butt off and make myself successful, because no matter how many times I fall down, how many times I fail, I still have a free place to stay, I have a roof over my head, and my mother will still take care of me. In fact, I would not sit around and relax and take life easy. I would work even harder, because while my mother and father is alive, if I fall trying, someone will rescue me. I would not sit around and take advantage of my mother and father and wait and take everything, have everything, and then, you know what, and then do jobs and do work and not put my heart into it, because if I fail, I can go back to Mama. And that's the problem with Mama's boys and Mama's girls. Is that whatever job you put them in, they don't put their heart 100% into the job. Do you know why they don't? Because they never had to produce results in their whole life. Never. So if your kids are monsters, if you yourself is a monster child, you will be unhappy. And you will create people who are unhappy. And that should teach the mothers that money is not the goal of your life, that's not what you should teach your children. And if it's too late, then you should teach other children in a Dharma center not to be that way. Teach other people and teach yourself not to be that way. Why? Because it failed with you. It failed with your own kids. If it failed with your own kids, it's not right. Because if your theory is correct, your kids must show you you are correct. So hence, your projection of how your father should be, your projection of how your mother should be, your projection of how a Dharma center should be, or your wife should be, your husband, your kids, society, the government, your projection of how they should be, and then when they're not according to the way you think they are, that makes you suffer. Not them. Why? How can the world, we have 6 billion people in the world, how can the world, family, and people be exactly the way all 6 billion people want it to be? How can it be? Oh, you say, but they're not Chinese, we're Chinese, so we have our... Within the Chinese, there's so much conflict and problems. Within every race, every country, there's so much conflict and problems. So my point, think, meditate, listen, let it go in. I'm not blabbing on and on to just sound good. If that does sound good. Think. I'm sourcing this from the scriptures on Emptiness by Nagarjuna. I read it, and I'm giving it to you in today's language. I'm not going to read the scripture to you. If you have a girlfriend, if you have a boyfriend, you think they're going to solve your loneliness, they're going to be with you forever, they're going to support you, they're going to love you, they're going to love your lifestyle, they're going to put up with you, they're going to go along with everything you want, and that's why they deserve to be with you and you deserve to be with them. And you're so happy because in the beginning, it's like that. Everybody's on their best behavior in the beginning. Before they marry, oh my God, the girl is the best girl in the world, the guy is my hero. After they marry, oh my God, I've got to show you the Snow White 15 years later video. Yeah, I got to show you the Snow White 15 years later video, then you guys know what I'm talking about. My point? You believe that this person is your savior. And then you start seeing cracks and flaws. And then you just put that aside. Then you see another crack. Oh, but you're in Buddhism and they don't like Buddhism. You go, oh, never mind. You know what? But they're good to me. They like the food I like. They like swimming. They like scuba diving, and they also like going to the gym like me. That's okay. And then they go, but I can't tell my parents that we're having a relationship because my parents wouldn't approve of you. And then your partner says, but you know what? I'm used to being me because my parents accept me. Oh. My sister had that problem. She fell in love with a Jewish man, and my parents were 100% against it. And she had to hide her relationship for years. So they got married. My parents hate to see them. I was there when they hate to see them. My father hated Jews. And that's his problem, not my problem. I saw it in my own family, step family. My point? I didn't even know what a Jew was until they said it. I was a kid, they said he's a Jew. I'm like, what's that? Because the Mongolian word for Jew is black bread, because they eat black bread, so they used to call it hakuru. I was like, what's a black bread? And he's a Jew, and I'm like, oh, what makes him a Jew? Anyway, it doesn't matter. My point is, I saw that in my own life. And so, then you go, okay, that's point number 2, that's not right with this relationship. But when we go out, that person's a little friendly, and they should be with me. They shouldn't flirt, because that would make me lose face, that would make me feel like they don't love me, they send a strong message to other people. Oh, but your partner says, but I'm used to being friendly, I'm a friendly person, I have a lot of friends. In fact, everybody in the club is my friend, and you're like, oh, okay, point number 3, like, uh-oh. Okay, never mind. We still like scuba diving, we have great sex, and we like the same colors, and we enjoy the same food. And then, your relationship becomes like that. One is no more, another one's no more, another one's no more, another one. And then pretty much you say, why do you like this guy? I don't know. Why are you with this person? Then it goes back to the real answer. I'm afraid to be alone. And if I'm alone, I feel I'm not fulfilled. Or another reason, if I'm alone, I feel I didn't accomplish what I look down, or maybe I need to mate every day and I need someone there ready for mating. I don't know. We all have our little reasons. What am I trying to say? That you're wrong and that person's wrong? No, go deeper. Your projection of how that person is. And then one day, you realize they're not like that, is what makes you fall out of love for them. Because you didn't fall in love with them, you fell in love with how you felt. solution? Accept people as they are. And they need to accept you as you are. You don't accept your projection of them. You accept them as they are. So therefore, when I tell people, now listen carefully, when I tell people to let go, I am not telling them to let go of their kids and their business and their family. Some families, they say, oh, I gotta make money, I gotta make money, I gotta make money, I gotta make money. That's what they're doing for 30, 40, 50 years. I gotta make money. I'm the backbone of the family, I gotta make money. Fine. You've been taking care of your family, you've been backing, you've been making money, fine. They're fine, they're all grown up, you pay off your bills, you own everything, you've got a couple of million, why are you still making money? Oh, now I need to support the whole planet. Oh, okay. Whatever. And then when they support the whole planet, I gotta support all 9 planets in the constellation. Okay. Oh, I forgot, and the universe. I'm like, okay, so you're gonna keep working on, you're gonna keep working and making money. You see, it's not that they need to support and support. It's what they thought money can give them that they can't let go. They thought that money can give them respect. They thought that money can prove their worth to a family who's not worth it. They thought that money can buy all the material things that would make them happy. They thought that having money, that their kids would have a head start and their kids would grow up fabulous because they got the best school, best education, best exposure, they had everything easy. You know, even if they scratch themselves, my little kids scratch themselves up, we put 50 band-aids on it, and they thought that money would help them grow. And when their little darlings grow up and they turn out to be werewolves and monsters and vampires that come and suck mama dry, suck daddy dry, they go, but why is my kid making it unhappy now? I made the money. I worked. I was a good husband. I took it. Why? And then the fathers start screaming at the kids. The mothers start screaming. The kids start screaming. They break apart. Or the kids just are useless. It is not the kids' fault. It is not the parents' fault. It is deeper. Our projection of how we think things should be. If I give you money, if I make your life easy, if I give you what you want, if I give you the best, if I give you the best clothes, the best education, you have to come out the best. You see, that's not their view, that's your view. Because you think like that. That type of thinking that's not founded is called projection. And that projection not being real is empty of existence. So all phenomena are empty of existence. Doesn't mean there's no phenomenon. It means your projection of the phenomenon and how it should be is empty of true existence. The true existence of phenomena is not from their side, it is from your side. Hence, when you realize emptiness, you will be free. When you empty your mind of your projections, you will be free. Think. Everything that you have suffered in your life didn't come from another person. It didn't come from not having money. You see, people who have money wish they were back to the simple life again. People who don't have money wish they can go back to the sophisticated life again. Everybody is never happy with what they want. Do you know why? Because everybody projects wrongly on everyone and everything. And that's the core teachings of Buddhism, is emptiness. The emptiness is not of nihilism, nothingness. Emptiness is not nihilism or nothingness. Nihilism is nothingness. Emptiness, or the realization of emptiness, sets you free. Is not because everything is empty. It's because everything exists, but not according to your perspective and your projection and your wish. That object not existing according to your wish, your perspective, your view, makes that object empty of existence. What existence? The existence of your perception, the existence of how you see it. The existence of how you wish it to be. And when you realize that, even a little, you can let go of things. You let go and let go and let go. You know when you let go, you don't let go of your lover. You don't let go of your children. You don't let go of your loved ones. In fact, you become even better. You become stronger. You become loving. You become real. Because then people say, how come you changed? And that's what people will feel that we change. That's why when we come across holy lamas, holy practitioners, holy nuns, and we feel in awe of presence, in awe of love, of awe of attention, and in awe of that they care about us, is a sign they've achieved some sort of emptiness. Because they don't look at you as a relationship, as in reference to themselves anymore. They look at you for you. But us, me, you, we still look at people in relation to us. How does this person benefit us? Is he according to my hobbies? Does she like what I like? Do we have the same foods? Oh, same food? Oh, we can be friends. Oh, not same foods? Oh, not same culture? Oh, not same language? Not same music? Oh no, we can't be friends. So everybody we meet, we instinctively, wrong instincts, still judge the other person according to our perception of what we consider a good person and a friend. Because if the good person and friend came from their side, then very bad people wouldn't have friends. Very bad people have friends, very good people have friends. Why? Because that's your perception. Does everybody understand? Hence, people who are doing Dharma work are better in one way, because they're goody Buddhists, because they're holy schmoly, because they collect good karma. Yeah, let's move on. Yes, they do that. Yes, they're holy. Yes, they collect good karma. Yes, that's not why they're better. People who do Dharma work and they're passionate, really passionate from inside, they have realized a little bit of this emptiness. So they will have relationships. They will make money. They will have families. But they can do more. Do you know why? Because if they don't have a relationship, they don't have money, they don't have this, they don't have that, it's not a threat to their insecurity anymore. That's why Buddhism liberates you. You don't look for God to liberate you. That's why Jesus Christ is a great being. Said, all of you have eyes, yet you cannot see. You have ears, yet you cannot hear. The kingdom of God is in front of you. And there are people in his sermons who actually went, where? They're actually looking in the sky, because their perception is good is there, bad is there. But you know what? The earth turns this way. So when the earth's this way, good is this way now, and bad is that way. And then when it turns this way, bad is that way, good is this way. It's perspective, isn't it? Of course, they didn't know that at that time, because the earth was flat and stayed still. So Jesus said that, and when I heard that 30 years ago. When I was about 14, 15, I watched the life story of Jesus on TV. I cried the whole show, and I still had the video, and I still cry, because he says exactly what Buddha says. The kingdom of God is in front of you, yet you do not see. You can be liberated now. Accept me. Accept the kingdom of God now. When he says me, he's not talking about himself as just a person of flesh. He's talking about what he's representing, what he's talking, what he's speaking about. The kingdom of God is in you, is in front of you, means what? Let go. Let go of how everything should be and not be. Money, not having money doesn't make you happy. Having money doesn't make you happy, so what's the middle way? The middle way is have some money and realize it doesn't make you happy. That's the middle way. So having no kids makes you happy, and then not having kids makes you happy, or whatever. Well, I already have the kids, get rid of the kids, throw them in the river? No. You don't throw your rotten kids in the river. Although some of you would, never mind. You don't throw your kids in the river. What you do is this, it's not having and not having kids, it's stop expecting them to be a certain way just because they are your child. And they will make you lose face. And they will embarrass you. Because is your love 100% for them, or is it based on you and them? Do the middle way. Let your kids be who they are. Let go. Let go of how you feel they should be. Let them be who they are. Let them be. You think you're the only mother who suffered, you're the only father who suffered that your kids grow up to be a monster? You think so? You go to jail, there are millions of people in jail. How do you think their mothers feel? Some of them let go and move on with life, some of them don't let go. They don't let go of their love for their kid, but they let go of how they think their kid should be. That's why I say let go and move on. When people have relationships, oh no, I've met this beautiful man, I met this beautiful girl, I met this beautiful person, and they are it. And you know, your friends go, we've heard that before. Yes, they are it. And you go, no, really, they are it. And you're like, all your friends are going like this, because their eyes are rolled up and some rolled down. Yeah, you told all your friends that. Then, what's your history? Who have you been hooked up with? How come you're not hooked up by now? Because it's not the person you're in love with, it's who you think they should be. And some people stick in a relationship very strongly. You know why? They can control their other half. Because their other half has insecurities we can manipulate. So they can control their other half. So they stay together for quite a long time. Why? If your other half doesn't have money and you do, they stay with you long. And of course, doing Gongsi Fa is a happy family. Your kid's a monster. He's got gangsters after him. He's lost millions of dollars. Your daughter's a prostitute in Bukit Bintang. Your other son's a drag queen out in Chao Kit. Your other lesbian daughter is joined some Dharma cult under Tsem Rinpoche. And you're making money and none of them listens to you. And your husband's sleeping with 50 women and he tells you he's going for golf. And your wife, you wouldn't want to sleep with her anymore because she doesn't look like your wife. She looks like a dried up skeleton. And then when we all get together for Chinese New Year, Gongsi Fa Chai, Gongsi Fa Chai, Gongsi, shut up, pull the wire. You know when I go to those malls and play that Gongsi Fa Chai, you know what? It's that song, I hate it. I put the tune out of my mind. I have not seen one happy Chinese family. I have not seen one happy family anywhere. If you go deeper, nobody's happy. It's not their fault, and they're not bad. I am not saying Chinese are bad, or anyone's bad. No. And then right after Gongsi Fa Chai, you go back to the monster kid, you go back to the prostitute kid, you go back to the lesbian who's joined the Dharma Association, who's joined some cult. Oh my poor kid. I found out that they're a lesbian, they're Buddhist, and they're vegetarian. Oh my God! And you know what? It's not even your kid's fault that she is a lesbian, she is a vegetarian, and she is a... It's not even her fault. It's what you thought your daughter should be. And because your daughter couldn't be what you wanted her to be, she made you suffer. I don't agree. Being a lesbian is not wrong. Being a vegetarian is not wrong. Being a Buddhist is not wrong. So why does it become like it's so wrong? If being a Buddhist is wrong, then all the Buddhist people in the world is wrong. All the lesbians are wrong. In Malaysia, I tell you 1/3, it must be. I was walking around with the monks, and I was just saying to them, you know, not this group, another group. I was saying, what is it? Is it the food or the water? Everywhere I look, it's a lesbian. Not that it matters. I don't really care. Personally, I have very good, well, most of the time, 9 out of 10, experiences with lesbians, except one who took my money on the land, but never mind. Most of the time, I have very good ones, but you know, my point is what, you see, because your parents gave you the money, they want you to grow up to be the little darling, they want you to grow up to wear pretty pink dresses, and you know, have a wonderful man and jump on you, and have sex, and have 10 kids, and they want you to be the wonderful housewife, because that's their formula of happiness. And you know what, bless their heart, because that's what they really believe would make you happy, because that's what they believe made them happy, they believe. Bless their heart, they're not evil. But the whole thing that's going on is the wrong perception. You know, I've heard things like, oh my God, my kid deals in drugs, that's so bad. Oh my God, my kid's a vegetarian, oh no! I don't get it. It's not like connected or even remotely related. It's just a choice of foods. It's just a choice of foods. Can you imagine going on Facebook and your innocent, sweet little girl popping around in pink dresses and having real bubbly with real men is a lesbian and a Buddhist And let's top it off, a vegetarian. Oh my God. And the pastor comes over, and the cousins come over, and the aunts come over to have a family meeting. What do we do about the sinner? Which sin? All three. And you just go, you know what? I just look at these people, and I don't even feel anger. Really, I don't feel any anger. I don't even feel sorry for them. I just look at them and say, what Buddha said is correct. Wrong you. Because you know what? The daughter is not wrong for being those three things, and the parents are not wrong for the daughter not wanting to be. Because everybody has their own projection of what makes people happy. Our parents don't want us to be unhappy. So they think that we marry a man, we have kids, you know, we're not a Buddhist, we eat meat, we'll be happy. So that's their formula of wanting us to be happy. So since we cannot come to a meeting point, you know what we do? A, marry a man, become un-Buddhist and eat meat. B, say I'm sorry and keep on doing what you are because you can't help it, and forgive them and move on. I like B. And whenever they're ready, and you don't abandon them, you keep helping them because they are your parents, you know. And they do love you. And that goes for everybody. It doesn't just go for one or two people. Everybody. Whatever your parents project on you, whatever their mind games are, that's their games, but you don't have to get involved by getting caught up in it. So if you were growing up and your parents didn't give you what you needed, and that's why you grew up to be what everybody else needed and you can't be, you don't blame it on your parents. Yeah, you can have your little emotions, you can cry, you can break down, you can have your little 15 minutes of, I know why I'm a loser. But then after that, you shouldn't be a loser anymore. That's the real problem. Because the real problem was that your mother or your father didn't give you what you needed. And therefore you use that as an excuse to fail and self-sabotage. That's not your parents' fault anymore. It's your fault for insisting that your parents should be a certain way. Then you will do it. You know, when you go deeper, what it is? It's just you wanting your way. God, again, selfish. Isn't it horrible when it all comes back down to us? It's called Dharma. It's called truth. It's called taking responsibility. Isn't that a nice word for some people? Taking responsibility. So when you take responsibility, you don't blame your mother for not giving you $2 million. And you don't blame your son for asking for $2 million. Nobody gets blamed. You let go. You let go. And if you don't let go now and you keep reaffirming this negative thinking, you will make more and more problems for yourself. Look at yourself now. You're an emotional walking mess, pretending you're happy. Hiding behind a relationship, hiding behind money, hiding behind jewelry, hiding behind names, positions, hiding behind whatever. People will use anything to hide. They're not hiding because they're bad. They're hiding because they don't know what to do. They don't know. That's why in Buddhism we say forgive. Forgive doesn't mean you're so good, you're so holy, and they're bad and you're forgiving. Forgive means forgive yourself for believing that people should be this way or a situation should be this way. So I want to make it very clear today. If we have enthusiastic, happy, uppity people in the group who wants to do more for the Dharma, that's not wrong. You know why? Not because Buddha's going to bless you, not because Rinpoche's going to give you a gift, not because Rinpoche won't throw a BF at you. That's not wrong. Why is this? It's because when you start joining an NGO and doing more work, it's the first level of realizing emptiness. That working for yourself and fulfilling your own needs solely will never bring happiness. So when we feel threatened, if our relationship is threatened, if we feel uncomfortable, we feel guilty with our relationship or having parties or going out, and then other people are working so hard, it's not that they're making you feel bad, it's you yourself making you feel bad because your inner voice is saying, I know this is not going to bring me happiness, but I'm going to keep trying because I'm afraid to try something new. I'm afraid to try something new. It's fear speaking. It's not you're a bad person. So if you're going out and clubbing on weekends, you're having a relationship and you don't spend much time in Dharma as your brothers and sisters or friends, you don't need to feel guilty. They don't need to make you feel guilty. You don't want no one to make you feel guilty. You make yourself feel guilty because you know that what you're doing won't bring happiness. It's not that what you're doing is bad. No. Having a relationship going out is not inherently bad. What makes you feel guilty is you suppressing the truth within yourself. So you let go. What? You let go of your relationship? Okay, see you later. Bye. No. You have your relationship, but you have a middle way. You find a middle solution. So mama's boys, mama's girls, people who do dharma, people who are afraid, parents, children, the source of all of our sufferings is not the world. It's us. The source of all of our sufferings, we're cheating people and lying to people, is not because we're smart. If we lie and we cheat and we try to get free things from people, it's not because we're smart. It's not because we want a shortcut. You know what it is? We just don't want to earn it. We want to use people. And we want people to make it easy for us. Because we just want to use people. And our wrong view is that we use people, we'll be happier. And if we're happier by using people, then every time we use people, we must be happier. So every time we use people, if we are not happy, that means that's not right. Even people who cheat people, who lie, who are sneaky, who don't do their job well, you know what they want? They're doing that to be happy. They're doing that to get some happiness, because if they shortcut, they think they get some happiness. They're actually lying and cheating and tricking people to be happy. They're not doing that to be unhappy. So even cheaters and liars want to be happy. They're the same as us. Hence we can forgive them, but we don't let them cheat. We don't let them lie. No. Therefore, my point, let go. The most important mantra you can recite to yourself once forever, let go. If you don't let go, wherever you are, whatever you're doing, whatever age, you will always create more problems for yourself and for others. Let go. God is not doing it to you. I'm not doing it to you. Cage is not doing it to you. Your relationship is not doing it to you. You're not doing it to you. But your because you don't want to harm yourself. Your expectation and wrong projection. And where did you get those wrong projections from? Many lifetimes of habituation. Many lifetimes. Okay, some of you don't believe in many lifetimes. Never mind. This lifetime of habituation. The media, the TV, the magazines, the advertisements, your friends, society, your village, your country. What does everybody say? Money, relationship, be happy. You've been brainwashed. So don't have it? No, have it. Have it. But just don't have that and rely on that and believe that's it. So now what should we do? Next time we go home, we say to our lover, oh, I love you, but I'm not attached to you. Oh, I love you, but I don't have wrong protection on you, so you can burn the house down if you're a pyromaniac. No, I don't think so. You go back exactly the way you are with your relationship. You go back to your lover, your husband, your wife. You go back exactly you are. And you know what? By letting go, two things happen. The relationship breaks apart, which you're afraid of, but it might be better, or the relationship gets even better. Because if you want to live in a relationship to become a better person, and you're afraid of losing that person to be a better person, then it's not a relationship. But if you are willing to be a better person and the relationship goes sour because of that, the relationship goes sour. Their projection of you wasn't fulfilled. So eventually you're not going to match anyways. It's just a matter of time. That's an example for everything. Money, cars, house, food, whatever. It's just an example. So therefore, when I teach everybody to let go, that's the meaning. That's the real meaning. To let go. What does to let go mean? To let go means your 100% wrong projection of everything how it should be. Oh, Rinpoche screamed at me. I'm leaving. Why shouldn't Rinpoche scream at me? Oh, Rinpoche's supposed to be compassionate, nice and soft and gentle and, be all kind and compassionate. Why is screaming at you not compassionate? That's your projection. Oh, Rinpoche didn't scold that person. I've been told off before for not scolding students. Yes, I've been told off for letting students get away with things, and they're unhappy with me, and they blame me, and they spread rumors by saying, why doesn't Rinpoche tell that person to keep quiet, or do that, or don't act like that? I don't talk, I get it. Yes, I don't talk, I get it. I talk, I get it. So you know what I do? I just do what I need to do. So if I talk, I get it. Also, people say, good, you talk. If I don't talk, I get it, and then people say, good, you talk. So whatever. There have been students in the past who don't like other students, what they're doing, and they tell other students why I don't tell them. And I go, why? I'm upset that I didn't tell them off, and here I am being blamed for telling people off. So what do? I just need to be myself. I need to have a good motivation, and if a certain situation needs scolding, I scold. If a certain situation needs nice talk, I nice talk. I just be myself because I can't make everybody happy. And as KH grows and becomes bigger and bigger, I'm gonna have all kinds of projectionists here. There's gonna be a lot of freaks and weirdos, a lot of backpackers, a lot of gypsies, a lot of attached people, a lot of people. Trust me, they're gonna show up at our doorstep. And what do? We take care of each and one of them as best we can, without any projections and expectations, with pure love and pure care. You know how you can care? You know how you can love? When you let go. You will never love till you let go. That's why some people meet high lamas and they just cry and cry and cry. They don't know why. Because they feel love for the lama. Do you know why they feel that love? Because the lama has let go. Because the lama has let go. They don't look at you good or bad. They just look at you and try to help you for you. So people are overwhelmed by that. And that's where Guru devotion comes. That's where people are very devoted to their Lama, they're very devoted to their Guru, they're very devoted to Guru this, Guru that, Guru's everything. New people come in and they're fanatic. They don't understand that they're not fanatical about the Guru and the cult. They have never felt the person who have loved them. And do you know how you love a person? Let it go. Just let go. If you let go, you will do tremendous work. Your marriage will become better. And if your marriage doesn't become better because your husband and wife became better, it became better because you became better, then your marriage, your husband and your wife and your partner cannot make you suffer if you let go. Why don't we just let them go and send in the divorce papers? Let me let go. Yeah, some people may think, let me let go. Let go of my ugly husband and that ugly wife. And let's send in the divorce papers. Let go. Why don't we let go of that? You can, if it really is bad to that point. Yeah, you can. I mean, everybody's different. There's no one rule for everybody. Let go, and you'll become happier just because you look at them for how they are. You just accept. And you become happier. Your marriage will become happier. Your Dharma will be happier. The Dharma group will be happier. Your relationship with everybody, everyone around you will be happier if you let go. And you don't base your future experiences and how you deal with people based on past experiences. Do you know why? You need to let go of your past experience. How do you let go of your past experience? You stop projecting how your parents should have been or shouldn't have been. When you let go, it is much more than therapy and psychology. And you are not taking care of a symptom, you are taking care of the problem. Let go. Let me say one more time. Let go. Let go of your parents. Let go of how you were treated. Let go of what you think your lover should do for you. Let go of what you think society should do for you, or how you should be and should not be. Just let go. Everything is empty of your projection existence. Everything is empty of your projection in existence. That's one. Number two, since it's empty of your projections, whatever mistakes you project, forgive and move on. Number three, do not use excuses from your past experiences for your failures now. If you were a mama's boy, or you were abused by your daddy, if your daddy hurt you, and that's why you're a monster now, if your mommy took care of you so well, and that's why you're a monster now, that's not their fault. It's you innately wanting to use people. And so when you come into a situation and you need to do work, and it's not easy at home, like home anymore, and you find you're suffering, it's not the Dharma making you suffer. It's not your mother who made you suffer. It is you who make you suffer, who still wants to use your mother or someone else like your mother to use. And since you can't use them, you're unhappy. You want to quit. You want to run. That's why you shouldn't quit. That's why you shouldn't run. That's why you should keep going to fight your selfishness. Does that make sense, everybody? Don't say yes because I'm the guru. Say yes because it does. Does it make sense, everybody?
Yes.
And that's, so that could be your parents, that could be your relationship, it could be your friend, it could be Dharma work. Nobody can pressure you. Nobody can make you scared. No one can harm you. It is your projection that harms you. Let go. So if you're in the Dharma, do your best for the Dharma. Give it all you got. And keep giving it to your dead. You know why? You had nothing to lose, because you're going to lose everything. You had nothing to lose from day one, because nothing is yours, and everything will be lost at the time of death. Nothing belongs to you. People ask, Rinpoche, how can you give things away so easily? Because I know it doesn't belong to me. I'd rather give it to you, you're happy because I can die tonight. What am I if I die? Oh no, I can't. Oh, that was mine. No. And the less you have when you're dead, when you're dying, the less you have, the better you can take a rebirth, because your mind is not stuck here. You don't become a spirit. So if I let go now, I'm going to have a wonderful death. I'm going to have a wonderful life. Because life just leads to death. Let go. And do your work well. And be honest. And be kind. And help. And give it all you got. And give it 100%. Especially because we're NGO. Give it your all you got for this organization. Because we can, individually, just ourselves, we can't do much. But if we get together, we're a very talented group of people. We're a very powerful group of people. You know how much we can do together? That's why we need each other. And because we need each other, we need to be nice to each other. We need to be kind to each other. Because we need each other. We really need each other. Let go.